All right. Whew. So, we're back. I didn't realize how addicted I was to making these videos until I didn't do one for like over a week. And I started going through withdrawals. So, we're here to like talk about the only movie that came out like this week. I know there were a couple like dumb comedies I've never even heard of. So, like,
yeah, I don't even
screw it. I don't want to go see it. So, as you can tell, we have someone new here. And why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Karina. Yeah.
That's it.
That's my introduction. Nothing catchy.
Oh, I'm waiting for someone to do a song and dance eventually. There you go. I'll take it. But no, we met Karina and another new member we're going to introduce hopefully next week when he grants Ex Machina. And, we were chit-chatting, we were making quiz back and forth, and I was kind of like, hey, you guys just want to do this? So,
go for it.
So here we are. Talking about the most depressing movie I've seen this year. Dear God.
Easily the most depressing movie.
We went to go see Maggie. Oh my God, this is like... I never saw The Road, but I imagine it's like this.
I think this was a little more sad than
really?
The Road.
This is more depressing than The Road?
Maybe it's just because I haven't seen it in so long, and this is like really fresh depression.
I like that description. This is just really fresh depression.
Well, I mean, The Road, yeah, I think it's comparable to
Oh my God. No, let me be clear. I loved this movie. I thought it was great. But yeah. it is fucking depressing as hell.
I didn't expect it to be this good at all, considering the reviews. Then I was like... Man, this is pretty good. That did not deserve.
No, we were talking about this on the way back. Like, it has like 53% Rotten Tomato. It is so much better than that. Better. And I don't get why it has that low percentage. I don't know if it's just because just maybe just stigma that Arnold Schwarzenegger is in it.
Or just like the pace. Like, people expect like a fast like pace and some like jump scares and stuff with certain like expectations for zombie movies.
Well, because I think. Yeah, like I think it might just be like
that.
I think it may be expecting like just Arnold Schwarzenegger zombie movie.
Yeah.
And that is not what it is at all. I mean, it has Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, but he's doing something he's never done before. Yeah. And it turns out he's really good at it.
Yeah, I mean, he still had that like Arnold Schwarzenegger machismo, but it came through in a really like warm, fatherly way.
Genuine way.
Yeah, that worked out really well.
Because like what the movie's basically about is... someone described this to me as The Last of Us, except with Schwarzenegger, and that's more or less what it is. Except Maggie's not immune in this one. Yeah. This is a really dark movie.
Yeah.
That's right off the bat. It basically describes this journey of Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, who's it's some kind of long last name. I can't remember how it's pronounced, but Vogel, that was it.
Vogel.
Who starts as Mr. Vogel, who finds that his daughter has gotten bitten and was taken to the quarantine center at this place. Now, at this point, this is actually what I really liked about how they set up this world, is this is a zombie apocalypse where more or less they've kind of sorted out the whole zombie thing.
Yeah, they've sorted it out, and everyone's pretty calm. And like they got the society back going again. Like there's still problems, of course, like crops are screwed apparently, and they have to burn down the whole cornfield and stuff like that. Why? What was the reason for
I think they said like for some reason because of the plague they weren't growing anymore, so they were basically dead. So they said
burn it.
They said burn it in a kind of a desperate attempt to kill off whatever is preventing the plants from growing.
Okay.
That's what they said in a little exposition radio. So
okay.
Yeah, it was like at the very, very beginning. So it was kind of like a throwaway line in the background. But there was a lot of like nice little twists to the zombie genre in this one. It makes it much less about a zombie thing and much more like, oddly enough, this movie's more kind of like an allegory to watching someone you love die of a terminal disease.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the impression I got through it too. Because that's like in this case, zombie infection doesn't take like over a day. It takes weeks for like the whole zombie infection to kick in. Yeah, and like they're still there while they start getting symptoms. They're still conscious of it, and they let them go home, which is another thing I like too. Like they say, it's like, okay, we wouldn't order this. We're gonna let her go, but you need to bring her back to quarantine when the time comes, or you need to do something about it. But we can't let you keep her that way. Which, I mean, it would make sense because I got the sense that her mom died from cancer. Something like that. I don't think because she said she kept fighting it when it came back, so it sounded like it was cancer that had gone into remission and then came back. That's entirely possible. I caught a few cancer allegories too. Yeah. Although the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger smoking next to a can that said biohazard, I thought was a bit much. But I don't know if you caught that. I forgot about that. I didn't even think
about that one.
That one was like, okay, that's kind of on the nose.
Yeah.
Because this is one of those movies that there is a lot of symbolism, and you can kind of catch bits and pieces of it. But like again, this is just a really solid movie with really great performances.
Yeah, it was different, it was like a refreshing zombie movie.
Right? Like
it
again,
wasn't like the same old kitschy kind of stuff.
I mean, there's still like zombies that pop up that Arnold Schwarzenegger has to kill, but even then
they're not like pop up roar. It's like, roar. Oh my god, these are people I know.
Like the tension is there.
Yeah.
Like there's always this foreboding sense of tension through the entire movie. Like you're not quite sure when it's gonna hit Maggie or how.
The only thing that was really like expected was the douchebag cop.
The douchebag cop. The token douchebag cop.
You always need the douchebag cop in a zombie movie, so at least there was that.
There was that guy. I mean, thankfully, Arnold Schwarzenegger kicked his ass at the end, which is like, you were, like, I was watching you. You were, like, fully invested in this movie by the time that came about.
Yes.
And we were both just laughing, like, oh my god, this movie is just, I want to go home and slit my wrist kind of movie.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, I'm done.
So it almost feels kind of morbid that I also really liked it, and I thought it was a genuinely excellent movie. I still say Ex Machina was better, but I still thought this...
Yeah, but
like,
good.
From what we had here, this is...
It deserved more.
Really good movie. Like, there were some subplots in this movie I didn't really, like, okay, I felt like maybe they dragged on a bit too long. But, like, when the movie's focusing on the relationship between Maggie and her father, it's fantastic.
Good, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or even with Maggie by herself, because I've realized this halfway through the movie. This is Little Rock from Zombieland, which I thought was kind of ironic. But so this is kind of what happened if she did get bitten in Zombieland and she wasn't being faked out. What was this a sequel to Zombieland? What a mess of twist. They found Arnold Schwarzenegger at the amusement park, and they just hit it off of that.
So weird.
That'd be great for a sequel.
I'm like a big critic of Schwarzenegger, but I think it worked. I know
you have like a
really weird. Yeah,
you have a Schwarzenegger bias.
I have like a very strong bias against Schwarzenegger, and I was very skeptical, but it worked.
But no, he can genuinely act.
It totally worked. Yeah, his acting was on point.
Like, I mean, I've seen in movies where like he's in action movies, but he's still genuinely giving a good performance. Yeah. I think we had the one where he was with Stallone last year.
What?
It's the one where they're like in the prison, they have to break out together.
Did I see that? I don't remember.
It was actually a fun movie. It wasn't a great... It was one of those movies where you don't say it's a great movie by itself. It's like, okay, I had fun. It's one of those kind of movies.
Okay, fair enough.
It's a Schwarzenegger Stallone movie. It's exactly what you expect it to be. So.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about, and I didn't see it because I was like, ugh, Schwarzenegger.
I had fun. I like that movie. No one came with me to see it. I was sad. But, anywho. But yeah, like, there's no big dramatic moment where they run off together or anything like that. The whole movie is just about them dealing with Maggie's illness, and just kind of how they emotionally deal with it and physically deal with it. Yeah. And just trying to like accept what's inevitably going to happen. Yeah. And everyone's like trying to move on. The schools are opening. And yeah, like everyone's trying to get society back to normal. But I was more interested in just the dynamic of the family, because one thing in this movie I noticed they did, I thought was great, is that pretty much almost from beginning to at least 3/4 in, with a scene where we both kind of teared up a little bit. Yeah, you know, like laughing and spitting out her food. Well, that too. I was talking about the part with the friend. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. But like everyone is desperately trying to ignore the elephant in the room. Yeah. Where like they all know exactly what's going on, but they are all just pretending it's not there, and that just builds this great tension of just like, okay, we all know exactly what's happening, but we're too afraid to acknowledge it. And sad. It's like the one zombie movie where you feel so bad for the zombies. Like, screw everyone else. Pretty much. Sad. I mean, so God, this movie's just heartbreaking, too. Tearjerker. I mean, and there's no way a story's gonna have a happy ending. You know that going into it. Yeah, there's no... That being said, it did have like the happiest possible ending you could have gotten out of it. Definitely, yeah. That was the first thing I said. I was like, well, that's the happiest you could have had. Because like it gets to the end where you know she's starting to lose it, and I think we were talking about scene before this one. The part though, there is a couple moments of levity, thank God, because by the time we got to those moments where like, someone throw a pie or do something. I need to be cheered up, please. I think it's like halfway through the movie after Maggie goes to the second doctor appointment, and the doctor basically tells Schwarzenegger privately, he goes, okay, it's progressing really fast. She doesn't have much time. You need to decide what to do.
Choices here.
You have like 3 choices here. You can either go into quarantine, you give her a cocktail, which is going to make her more miserable, but it's going to make her live a little bit longer. Or...
Oh, I thought it just killed her. But it was just like painful.
Well, I'm just being really cruel. I think I got the impression it was kind of like prolonging their lifespan a little bit. Maybe it was to kill them. I don't know. But
I thought it was like a death cocktail. It was just like really painful.
That seems really cruel. But
it's cocktail. Like you shoot her or you kill her this way.
That'd be cruel. That'd be really cruel.
Yeah, well, that's why he was like, I would choose the gun, in my opinion.
I got the impression it just. I kind of got the impression that's kind of like breathing like. Feeding tubes and stuff like that, where it just kind of like it prolongs the inevitable, but even the way it's still going to end badly. But,
yeah. Okay.
That's what I got of it anyway. I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Other than here's a way to more painfully kill your daughter, sir. There you go.
Here's a little syringe for you.
Happy birthday. But no, after that, there is like a nice human moment between like Schwarzenegger and Maggie and the family dynamic where they're laughing over the fact that his wife, who is Maggie's stepmother, apparently can't cook worth a damn.
Yeah, well, I mean, with what she has.
Point, yeah. Point.
That was definitely a well-needed moment.
It was definitely a moment of levity, and it feels genuine. Like that's what makes it good. Is like the interaction between Maggie and Schwarzenegger feel very genuine, and if you feel their connection, and
really like father-daughter.
That father-daughter dynamic, and that's why it makes it so much harder.
Sad.
When you get towards the end, when you realize that he can't wait any longer, and he has to make a choice.
Why? It's terrible. Like, get a good away, but terrible.
It really it's a great movie, but it's a hard sit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad it didn't like drag on though. Like, I feel like it was the perfect time.
Yeah, this movie's pretty short. It's only like an hour and a half, give or take.
That was good.
No, it's well paced. I think it ends exactly when it needed to end. It didn't drag on long, and just the acting was just really fucking good.
Yeah. I was surprised because like halfway through the movie, I was just like, "How's this gonna end?"
I was kind of feeling that too.
This is gonna be so bad.
Because like there is no good way for this to go, and like because even there's a point where again they have another really good moment where Schwarzenegger shows Maggie like this daisy field.
Yeah.
Because what happens at the beginning of the movie is Maggie runs away from home. I'm guessing because like her mom died or something like that. They don't really tell you why. Really they leave it purposely ambiguous, but that's how she gets bitten. So apparently, Schwarzenegger has been looking for her for weeks before he finally found her bitten and already kind of screwed.
Yeah.
But apparently, while she was gone, he followed a suggestion of hers to plant daisy seeds or something like in her mom's old garden. So he did.
Because they would grow.
So they would grow. So that's where he takes her. Before like. The night before everything ends. And at that point, Maggie just straight up just begs him to kill her. And it's like, oh my god.
Why? It's terrible.
I'm sorry I made made this your first movie.
Why?
We could have seen Mad Max instead.
I know. 5 more minutes. We could have seen Mad Max.
Yeah, our show was at 6:55. Mad Max is at 7. I didn't realize it was even playing until I got in there. I was like, oh shit, damn, I'm really torn now.
Oh well.
I mean, I'm not.
That was good.
I mean, like, I'm glad I saw it.
Yeah, I'm glad I saw it.
But it's still a hard sit, especially in the theaters.
Yeah, that was.
There's also like another great moment. I mean, obviously we've given away most. At the same time, I'm not really spoiling the movie because you know how the story's going to end one way or another.
Yeah.
You know how it's going to end. It's just more of just how it happens.
Yeah.
But we give spoilers away all the time on the show. Sounds like you're surprised. So if you're like one of the 5 people that watch us. But no, we're again, we have like a very small cult following of about like 20, 30 people. So, and 200 subscribers.
A solid audience.
I know, right? So I'll take it. I'll gladly take it. And like one commenter, but he's a nice guy who wants me to go see religious movies. So there is that. But There's the caveat.
There's always a catch.
I know, right? But anywho, oh yeah, and there's that one scene, again, kind of just going back to brief moments of levity, and just trying to let Maggie have, like, normal experiences one more time before she inevitably passes on, is that a friend of hers, who knows that she's sick? I'm assuming somebody told her at this point.
Well, she was the daughter of the doctor.
Oh, is that who it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So she knew for sure.
Okay, she knew for sure. Okay. So she invites her out to like a bonfire type thing, which, you know, sounds dangerous when you're in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
But apparently at this point, zombies are kind of a moot point, except for one or two stragglers that pop up once in a while, so...
Yeah, I just found it, like... I feel like the only thing that was maybe a little bit unrealistic is, like... I feel like the parents would have been like, I don't think this is a good idea.
Yeah, take
but
this.
They were like, go have fun. Have a good night out.
I mean, for her, I can imagine.
That makes sense.
For Maggie, I can imagine not worrying about her because, like, what are they gonna do? Make her more sick? So.
Yeah, I can imagine like the other parents. Like, well, I guess they probably didn't know. But.
I guess maybe not. I don't know. Either way, like. They just want Maggie to have one last good night.
Yeah.
So they do, and they let her go out, and, you know, they have fun. Even with a douchebag high schooler who likes smoke, like, I don't know why they let people, like, sick people go out when there's a kid who's clearly sick 5 feet away from them. Two of them. And it's like, dude, asshole.
Yeah.
That's like walking up to the cancer ward and going, doesn't cancer suck? I'm so glad I'm healthy.
Yay.
It's like, fuck you.
God damn it.
Fuck you, high school kid. But I did have, I meant my morbid sense of humor kicked in once or twice, especially towards this scene. Because Maggie and the other sick boy, who I guess they had a relationship before she ran away, or before they both got bitten.
Like, broke up with him or something.
Something like that. Again, they leave a lot of it purposely ambiguous, which I like that. I was fine with that.
Yeah.
But they start kissing, and the horrible part of my brain's going, it's like, okay, let's hope the decay hasn't gotten everywhere.
I was thinking that too. That's so gross. I was like, zombie kisses, gross.
Because I just imagine, you know, the foreplay and just,
No. No, gross. Oh, but one other thing I did want to mention is you likened it to The Road, which is really, really similar because it's less about what's, like, going on in, like, the post-apocalyptic world and more about, like, the relationship, like, the family relationship, which is exactly how The Road is. Like, you are stuck without knowing what the hell is going on, and you have to deal with it because it's just about the relationship.
Yeah, and that's, like, I feel like that's what the movies should be about.
Yeah.
Because the more you focus on just the apocalypse itself, the less interesting it gets, oddly enough. Like,
I agree.
That's what, like, that makes The Walking Dead the comic book more than the show. So good. I mean, I like the show, but it's kind of meh.
I really got into it.
Yeah, but it's like what makes the comic book is fantastic though, because that's all it's about. Is just how these characters develop with each other and how they work with each other and how they survive. You know, the apocalypse. I mean, I did like the nice twist that this was one where the apocalypse more or less is resolved.
Yeah, like they're kind of figuring it out.
Like, I feel like that's kind of the more realistic approach, because that's one thing that never made sense to me. It's like, these are slow zombies. Eventually, I would think they would get the upper hand.
Yeah.
I mean, World War Z zombies, I get.
I didn't see that.
It wasn't very good. They were like, they were fast and they were dogpiling and they were like stampeding through everything. So like that makes sense why people die out fast.
Yeah, but these zombies are kind of slow. I don't know. I thought it was so sad that like every time they talked about like a zombie attack, like everyone mentioned that like you could see it in their eyes.
Oh like, yeah, they're still there, and that's like
it's like heart-wrenching.
Because, that leads to another scene early in the movie, and again goes to the fact that, Schwarzenegger can legitimately act when he wants to. Is, early on in the movie, Maggie runs into two neighbors, I guess, who've been zombified, and, Schwarzenegger runs up there and puts him down.
Yeah.
But then he just... Again, this is another thing I liked about it, is the fact that he beat himself up endlessly for it afterwards.
Yeah, like...
Saying, like, did I make a mistake? You will believe a Terminator can cry.
Yeah.
That's the kind of this movie in a nutshell. You will believe a Terminator can cry.
So sad.
As he has one single tear.
Yeah, this is the one
Just
tear.
The Hollywood sexy cry.
The macho. The macho tear. Just the one.
Manly tears have been shed this day. I will admit, I did get a little tired of the Bonnie plot line. because I felt like the performance of the who played the Bonnie character wasn't as good as the mom.
The stepmom?
No, the one who had the daughter and the husband that was went inside.
Oh yeah, like that subplot.
That part I thought was like
Bonnie the neighbor. Yeah, that was. I mean, I guess it was like showing like what could be a possible.
I mean, I get where they were going with it, kind of like the foreshadowing of what Schwarzenegger would eventually have to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I felt like that was when like the actor who played her wasn't.
Yeah, great. I agree. Yeah.
I mean, she tried. But
I mean, it was kind of forgettable. I totally forgot who she was for a second.
She bugged me because that was the only part of the movie I was like, oh come on, we're doing this, where she goes out to Schwarzenegger. The police are looking for her because she harbored zombies. Understandable. Yeah. And she points a gun at Schwarzenegger and makes him lead her to where they were killed. And then she like cocks the gun at him. I was like, oh come on, we're doing
Pretty
this.
Classic Schwarzenegger that I liked. Not even a flinch as she could.
Well, he did stop. Like I get the feeling he was scared, but you also get the impression that he's dealt with this shit before.
Yeah, he gets it.
Yeah, so like again, it is.
But I like
this. This is probably the most complicated and layered character I've seen Schwarzenegger do.
Yeah.
And again, props to him. Like that's I think another reason I like this movie is the fact that I like it when actors try something different and something risky. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, granted, Schwarzenegger's at the age where fuck it, who cares if he makes a bad movie or not.
I mean, it still had like room for him to kind of like bring out the machismo.
Yeah, there's a couple moments where
like the father, the protector kind of character, but I mean, this was really different for him.
Yeah.
I mean, it was emotional, like good, really good.
Yeah, I mean, like there are a couple moments where Arnold Schwarzenegger has to punch somebody, so he punches the asshole cop.
But I mean, it's like good because it feels genuine. It's not.
But again, this isn't one of those movies where like if they suddenly just killed off Schwarzenegger, it would not shock me. So like even when he does get in the scuffle with the cop, you're legitimately worried that something bad's gonna happen to him.
Yeah.
And it's entirely possible that it will, because he looked like he was just gonna murder that cop, and then he was probably gonna get shot, and that would have really sucked. I liked the other cop. The other cop was cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like the realist.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, like there was a douchebag cop who has like even the douchebag mustache, and he's like, he's like, this is bullshit. We should just take her to quarantine now. And he's just being like a jackass.
Got a whole city to worry about.
Just that ass. He reminded me of the guy from Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Was it Rise with the newest one?
Yeah.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Practical, but such a douche.
No, the one in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was just a douche.
Yeah, he was just a douche.
This one, like, he was practical, but yeah, he was just going, he was like, well, you don't have to be an asshole about it.
Yeah, exactly.
The other cop was much more like, okay, he gets it. Like, I felt like he get it, like, he was willing to sympathize, willing to work with them.
More like a connection of friendship with
yeah, you can tell they've had a connection before.
It's like a small town too, so you get the feeling that everyone really knows each other, which is more sad.
But the part that got me, and I don't know about you, but this one like made me tear up a little bit. I'm not ashamed to admit that I tear up sometimes.
Yeah, that was close.
It happens. It's the part where after the party scene we mentioned earlier, when they're out in the field. And after, I'm assuming they have zombie sex.
Go into detail on that.
No, we already had that romantic comedy last year. What was that movie called? The one where it had the zombie that turns more into a human?
Oh, I didn't see it. I don't remember.
I don't remember what it's called.
The guy that's dating Jennifer Lawrence, that guy.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're still dating.
Yeah, I remember the movie's okay. I remember liking it. It wasn't bad. It was trying to be Twilight, but no, not really. Actually, it had its own thing going for it. But anyway, I'm getting off track. Is when her friend is driving Maggie back to her house, and they have this wonderful moment. Like, this is hands down the best scene in the movie. Where they're kind of doing like they're trying to act like friends. Like, oh, I'm gonna call you next weekend. You're gonna be there? Yeah, of course I will. Yeah, but. Again, this comes back to the tension that builds up when you don't address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
And that just beautiful moment when someone finally does. And because Maggie starts walking back to the house, and the friend stops her, says wait, and just starts tearing up herself, gives her a big hug, says is basically saying goodbye.
Yeah. They both know.
And they both know what's coming, and they're just basically saying their final goodbye to each other. And oh my God, both the actors that did this are knocked it out of the park. I was almost, like, if I was in a theater, I probably would have cried a little bit.
Yeah, tearjerker scene, for sure.
That was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Somebody throw a pie! And then again, I did like the ending and the fact that, spoiler alert, massive spoiler alert, is the fact that Maggie basically knows that she hasn't had much time left and takes the decision away from Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, she whips that
shoulders. Yeah, takes it off his shoulders and, like, jumps off the roof of the house and killing herself, which is, like, again, giving the context of the story, that is really the only good ending you could have hoped for.
Thing that could have happened.
And the fact that she obviously cared enough for her father that she did not want him to have to go through that.
Yeah.
So, I may have liked maybe like a reaction shot from Schwarzenegger, but...
I feel like it would have been weird.
I guess so. I mean, like, I guess, again, going back to as hopeful of an ending as you could possibly give this.
Yeah.
Whew. This movie's not perfect, though. I mean, like, we were talking about this way back. Like, the biggest problem we both had with it was mostly just the camera work.
Yeah, a lot of blurry.
Like, a lot of blurry images, a lot of shaky cam, which it kind of reminded me a lot of the first Hunger Games.
Distracting.
You know the first Hunger Games did that a lot?
I haven't seen it since it came out. I remember.
They did it a lot. Where, you know, it's so hard for, like, even, like, it feels like if they hold it still for a second, they're committing a sin or something. So they have to move.
Yeah.
Although even...
No, I agree completely with that.
Or maybe just because of the camera they used, because I noticed a couple shots where they were, I guess it was going, like, 60 frames per second or something like that. Because there were a couple shots when they held it still, and it looked kind of weird when Schwarzenegger was walking back and forth. So I don't know if you noticed that.
Shaky.
So
now that you're talking about it, I know what you're talking about.
Like
but I didn't notice it during.
Yeah, that was the one part that kind of was like, that's kind of weird. But yeah, so a lot of blurry stuff, that was kind of distracting. Like you pointed out, it was like kind of hard to read stuff.
Yeah, like anything, like any like written stuff that, you know, was like, there's like one point where she like tears up this like pamphlet, and I was like, I wanted to see what the pamphlet was, but like I couldn't read it.
But I liked that there was a pamphlet.
Yeah, like, you know? She was just ripping it up, but
again, that kind of comes back into the world they're building here, and the fact that it's clearly more evolved building world, or at least, you know, in the zombie apocalypse kind of way. That being said, I kind of liked it better if the pamphlets is something to the extent of, so you're becoming a zombie.
Like
when you start feeling the need to feast, go to turn page 5.
When you start smelling your parents.
When you start smelling your parents. Here's what you do.
Lock your door.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. No. See, I was imagining like one of those old school educational videos.
Yeah, that would have been so weird. Like,
just have those beats like dun 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 dun.
Like some like, we don't know what causes this, but the symptoms are. So
you're becoming a zombie. How do you know you're becoming a zombie? Have you recently been bitten by a cannibalistic monster? Then you may be becoming a zombie. Here are the symptoms. With a little cartoon animation for like Fallout or something.
If you experience any one of these symptoms, call your doctor immediately. Yeah, but I wanted to see the pamphlet, but I couldn't. But anyways, not significant part that just bugs me.
But yeah, I mean, this isn't limited release right now. I'll probably get a wider release, I'd imagine, a week or two. We got lucky. Like we really get the limited releases here in San Jose.
Yeah, and then even at Camera 7, I bet it's probably showing there.
Probably is. I didn't see the Camera 7 when I looked it up, honestly, because I looked there first. And
I feel like usually they play all the.
Yeah, I mean, usually
but eventually it'll probably come out there if it comes out anywhere.
Likely. Yeah, it's gonna be Camera 7. But,
yeah.
I mean, Camera 7 was like the only one that was playing Chef for a while. So.
Oh, they played it there?
Yeah, they played it there.
I saw it online like way after. I didn't know they played it there.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty good. I super off track.
I kind of thought Jon Favreau was a jackass. That kind of made me.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, like through the whole thing, even like the whole redemption act, I still thought he was a jackass. I like Sofia Vergara, oddly enough.
Oddly enough. Well, agreed on that sentiment.
I mean, I'm not a huge Modern Family guy.
I like it. I don't watch it.
Yeah, man. Anyway, we're getting off track. So, just talk about trailers. We were the first ones in there, so we kind of just talked through the whole first trailer.
Yeah. I only paid attention to one of the trailers.
So we got Slow West, which
first one with the kid.
The kid who's probably gonna be Spider-Man, from what I've heard.
Really?
Yeah, they're talking like, which I can see.
I can see that.
Yeah. Oh, he was in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes too. I forgot he was in that.
I don't even remember anyone from that movie.
He played the guy's son, the one who drew things.
Okay.
Oh, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is a great movie.
I need to watch it again. I haven't seen it since like one time I watched it on AMC.
It's such a good movie. But I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen a good Western, so if it's good, I'll go see it.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen like any Westerns.
Well, there was A Million Ways to Die in the West that came out last year. That sucked.
I heard that was really bad.
That was really bad. Really, like the last Western I remember seeing that I liked was True Grit.
And I still haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that one? Oh my god, such a good movie.
I want to see that.
It's Jeff Bridges as a cowboy. A drunk cowboy.
Which makes it all the better.
Makes it even better. I mean, granted he's going up against John Wayne, but still.
I wanted to see it. I just never heard.
Oh, and there's the bear dude in they're riding through the forest. All of a sudden, they come this guy with this big old bear wool, weaving like the head on the top of the rug.
Okay.
Who tries to sell them teeth.
Interesting.
He's only in one scene, and you never see him for the rest of the movie. But it's a Coen Brothers movie, so that kind of tells you.
Okay.
Either is it's like, what do you got? I got my bear skin.
Okay. Sold me on the movie. I gotta watch it now. Just for that one
Just for the
scene.
bear dude.
Yes.
I want to go watch it now I come think of it, but anywho, so that's coming out. Then we got Terminator Genesis, which, yeah, of course we get this trailer in this movie. I don't know. I've said my piece about Terminator before. I mean, you're not a Terminator fan.
I'm not a Schwarzenegger fan, mostly because of the Terminator movies. Specifically because
did that just scar you for life as a kid? Or?
Yeah, like, I'm just...
Because I'll admit, I still can't watch Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I had issues with Jurassic Park for the longest time, but I love Jurassic Park.
Oh, it's a good movie. I sucked up to watch the 3D re-release, but...
Oh my god, I didn't actually see it in 3D at all.
I did.
I can't watch 3D. It makes me feel sick.
Yeah. And then we got a couple horror movies. Again, Insidious Chapter 3. If it was anything like the second movie, I might have a good time.
It's just like, I know it's not going to be like a good plot line, but it's going to scare me anyway. And it's just, I feel like it's not worth it to like be terrified for something that's not that great.
You have no scare tolerance. You watch The Babadook with Grant.
True. Well,
like the scariest movie come out in the last decade, and that's the one you go see.
I apparently like to torture myself.
That's like saying I don't like blood in movies and then going and seeing Hellraiser. You know?
I love Hellraiser.
Me too.
I don't know. There's something great about the. I don't know. The scare. People don't like jump scare, but it's just like. It actually scares me. Most people it doesn't scare, but like it actually scares me. So I'm like, okay with it at least.
Anyway, and then we got Poltergeist.
I really want to see that.
Really?
Like, I don't know. I loved those movies as a kid. Like, I just thought they were so weird and eerie, and like that creepy old guy that looks like every old white man that creeps me out.
Like every old white man.
If they're like,
are you afraid of old people?
If they look like the guy from Poltergeist and they're wearing black, yes.
Well, this one's played by Jared Harris.
Oh my god, is
he was, remember that the guy from, he played Moriarty in the second Sherlock movie? He was also in Fringe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was like with a big bag,
nice and
like
creepy.
the minions
okay.
of.
I'll accept that.
Yeah.
I do want to see it though. I like that they have like kids that are like playing their own age.
That's nice. All right. Not like this movie. Or like let's take these teenagers and make them be like really adults.
Yeah.
God.
Were those the only trailers?
Yeah, that was the last one. I mean,
okay.
I think Poltergeist also has Sam Rockwell as the dad.
I wasn't paying attention.
I don't think he was in this trailer.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't even remember seeing him.
Yeah, Sam Rockwell. Yeah,
creepy little girl going, "No, something's wrong."
I don't know, the fucking clown. You ever hear the comedic stand about guys saw Poltergeist?
No.
Okay, it's gonna go with tangent, but you watched the show before, you know how this goes.
Yeah.
So there's this comedian who was talking about how he watched Poltergeist as a kid, but he didn't tell his parents because he wasn't supposed to be watching Poltergeist. So
starting good. Okay.
And he goes, and I'm watching it, and I got so terrified of the clown. But what they didn't realize, people, is that was not a prop made for the movie. That was a real toy you could buy that I had an exact replica of hidden in my room.
That's messed up.
No, so I was like, so I thought the only solution to save myself, I was like, so it was no longer a movie, it was a prophecy for the rest of my life. So I did the only thing I could, and I took the clown out and I beat it savagely. And I threw it in the trash can. But what I didn't realize is, while I was asleep, my mother went to the trash can and said, "Oh no, my son threw away his favorite clown doll," and put it back in my room while I was asleep.
That's terrible.
So I woke up and have been terrified of clowns since.
That's funny. That's terrible, though.
It is.
Speaking of terrible, I have a friend that saw 30 Days of Night when he was living in Alaska.
I forgot about 30 Days a Night. Oh my god, that's going back a few years.
Stationed in Alaska at the time.
Stationed was it like in the army or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he hates scary movies, and for some reason thought it would be a good idea to watch that one.
I don't know why you would think that's a good idea. That's when I was like, what was the thought process?
Oh, messed up for life.
That's like if I lived in Gilroy and someone made a movie about the stalker that roams Gilroy streets, that'd just be a bad idea in general.
Terrified for the rest of my life.
The streets are empty enough in Gilroy at night. It's entirely possible. You can hear someone walking for like half a mile away.
It follows. That's what I'm thinking about that.
It follows.
Something's walking behind them.
That movie makes you paranoid. That's what It Follows does.
That movie makes me paranoid about sleeping.
I mean, It Follows wasn't scary necessarily.
The STDs. That's the only thing I think about.
The sexually transmitted monster. Yeah, that's
weird.
STM. It's also some kind of weird bondage kink, doesn't it? Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
Get used to it. We talk you this kind of thing a lot. All right, so yeah, you recommend this movie?
Yeah.
You got any final thoughts?
Yeah.
Or?
I mean, if you like Schwarzenegger, especially, if you don't like Schwarzenegger and you want to see him in something different, still watch it.
Like, yeah, if you're looking for like a standard zombie like Schwarzenegger film, you're not gonna get that at all. Like, this is a much more. This is a character piece.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is an entirely emotional, character-driven movie. So if you're into that,
zombie things, like,
it's a plot device.
Yeah.
Like, I got the impression it's kind of more for allegory purposes. I don't usually get symbolism too, so the fact that I got that is Grant gets it more than I do. So this is the first like, oh, I get what they're doing. I got kind of excited.
Well, Grant's like a film major, so he's trained to see symbolism.
I like pick up bits and pieces, so I don't know why I'm running the show.
I usually never catch anything, so.
So yeah, I really recommend this movie. I think it's like, this is right up there with like Ex Machina. Like this is like I think the second best movie I've seen this year.
It's like the third movie I've seen. You haven't seen While We're Young yet, huh?
No, I didn't get around to go seeing that. I wanted to, but
really good.
Yeah, I wanted to go see it. I just didn't get a chance.
That was super relevant.
Because that came out in a week where I was so busy.
I would say I liked that one better than this one, but those are only like 3 movies I saw this year, so I can't really judge.
Well,
on the movies of the year.
If you're a good sport, trust me, you'll see all kinds of movies. All right, guys, I think that's all we got for this week. Next week we got Pitch Perfect 2 and Mad Max. I am so excited.
And I will not be there for those ones. I will be in Boston.
Sucks to be you. Although Pitch Perfect 2 is getting better reviews than I thought, so go figure.
Is it?
It's at 72% right now.
Oh, that's better than I thought.
I know, right? Because it just looked terrible. Like every trailer I've seen just makes it look awful.
Yeah.
I'm still probably gonna hate it because I'm not the target audience. That's like sending me to go send Magic Mike, which I'm gonna have to see too.
I didn't see the first one, so.
I'm gonna have to go see Magic Mike too. And I like Channing Tatum in comedy. I think it's actually pretty funny.
Yeah. After, I was like, actually, like, kind of against it, but then after I saw, 21 Jump Street, I was just like, oh, he's so good.
That sold me on him too. Like, okay, I don't get him in drama, but I like him in comedy.
I just always picture him and Step Up to like Step Up in like all the movies I see him in. So I'm just like, when's he gonna dance?
Mad Max, I am so looking forward to Mad. Like, it's getting amazing reviews right now.
Visually, it looks
visually
really
like
good.
it's really colorful. Surprisingly, like the villains look fantastic. You know, have you seen the trailer with the crazy dude with like the long hair and like the smiling breathalyzer, like how he talks like Hitler? You know.
Yeah, I want.
And the other guy, of course, like who oddly enough is actually Beast from the X-Men First Class movie.
Oh,
he's the one that goes,
"What a
day, what a lovely day." That's him.
I did not recognize.
I did not know that either. Grant was the one that pointed out to me. I was like, "Son of a bitch, it is him."
Okay.
I can't fucking wait. If I wasn't busy with shit, I would go see it tonight. Anyway.
The same.
Fuck, I'll just get back.
I have a test tomorrow at 9:45. That's gonna be really
okay. So see you guys later. Bye. B.